This is Atn Global News. First, the headlines. Nothing wrong with Okocha meeting Fubara's ally, analyst says. Father, son sets Kingsman on fire in Imo State. Tinubu assures President Mahama of support. 33 ex-workers demand 30 billion naira from CBN. Mahama sworn in as Ghana's president. 3 clubs plan to sign Rashford from Man United. Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez finalized divorce. Now the rest of our stories. Public affairs analyst says there's nothing wrong with the APC chairman, Chief Tony Okocha, meeting with Governor Fubara's ally to discuss serious political matters. Daniel Momo, a public affairs analyst, while speaking on ATN program Open Conversation, urged the APC Rivers State Chairman, Sir Tony Okocha, to continue with his diplomatic system to achieving useful results.
Let's even assume, just for the sake of this conversation, that it was even true that he paid him a visit. Why should he not pay him a visit? I think before politics, there is life.
Right.
People related. APC is just about 13 years. Inflation, just about 13 years. I think it was created in 2014. And are you saying that these people, before politics, APC and PDP and others came into existence? I think that let us first appreciate ourselves as human beings before we now begin. I might disagree with you. I might hate the political party that you belong. But I should not hate you as a person. I should not be seen to say that if I associate myself with you, it then means that I am now coming to associate with the political party. No. People should be free to hold different views. People should be free to associate with whoever they want to associate themselves.
This is coming after the factional chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State, Tony Okocha, has denied reports circulating on social media claiming that he has defected from the camp of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to align with Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Nigerian Navy says its personnel deployed around Agbura community in Bayelsa have rescued no fewer than 9 passengers, comprising 8 policemen and 1 civilian. A statement by the Director of Naval Information, Commodore Awuyo Adams Aliyu, on Tuesday in Abuja said that its personnel also recovered 3 rifles belonging to the policemen during the search and rescue operation. According to him, the police officers were drowned while en route to Yenagoa when their speedboat hit a submerged wreck and capsized, adding that first aid was administered to those injured and was subsequently transferred to the Federal Medical Center Yenagoa for further medical treatment. Adams Aliyu reiterated that the submerged wreckage that caused the incident was noted and marked to prevent further occurrences. Delta State Governor Sheriff Oberevori has dismissed speculations about his potential defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. Responding to rumors, Oberevori, through his chief press secretary Festus Ahon, described the claim as baseless and the work of opposition elements in the state. This is coming after reports had alleged that the governor had sent emissaries to President Bola Tinubu and was considering a move to the APC, raising doubts about his reception within the Delta APC fold. He reaffirmed the governor's commitment to the PDP and his readiness to work with the federal government for the benefit of people of Delta State and the nation, and also urged the public to disregard the rumors and assuring them that the governor remains focused on delivering his agenda, a developmental blueprint he promised during his election campaign. Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo says impeaching corrupt elected political office holders is not wrong and also not a sin. This is coming after the governor accused the suspended 18 local government chairmen in the state of remitting about 12 billion naira to leaders of the People's Democratic Party, and also alleged that the council's chairmen who were elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party on September 2nd, 2023, remitted the money to the leaders of PDP in 15 months. He raised the allegations while playing host to the acting chairman and councillors of the 18 local government areas who paid him a courtesy visit at the government house in Benin City and commended the acting chairman and the councillors for their courageous act in upholding democracy and ensuring transparency at the local government level. He opined that the 12 billion naira allegedly given to the opposition leaders by the chairman did not belong to any individual, irrespective of their status, and further alleged that the council chairman, while remitting the sum of 800 million naira as environmental security funding to the PDP leaders. He posited that the chairmen were engaged in wasteful spending even when schools did not have teachers. Earlier, Damian Lawani, State Chairman, Local Government Commission, who led the acting local government chairman on the courtesy visit, assured the governor that the chairmen are ready to work closely with the administration and ensure that the people at the grassroots enjoy the dividends of democracy. Concerned about the rising cases of vandalism of public utilities, the Akwa Ibom state government has announced plans to deploy at least one personnel of the Ibom Watch Security Outfit, a state-funded security agency, to every village in the state, adding that the operatives will collaborate with the police to address the menace. Governor Umo Eno, who disclosed this known during a courtesy visit by the newly appointed Commissioner of Police, CP Baba Mohammed Azare, said the financial strain caused by the vandalism, particularly the destruction and theft of transformers, has hindered rural development efforts. The governor also highlighted the strong partnership between the state government and security agencies and pledged continued support to maintain peace and combat crime across the state. He expressed confidence in the new Commissioner of Police, noting that his previous role as Deputy Commissioner of Operations in the state provided him with a deep understanding of the terrain and security challenges. Imo State Police Command has detained a man, Mr. Obina Obiekia, popularly known as Loski, and his son, Chidubem Obiekia, for allegedly setting their 35-year-old kinsman, Chima Okafo, ablaze over accusations of stealing a pair of jeans worth 25,000 naira. The incident occurred during the early hours of New Year's Day in Negbugu Autonomous Community, Oguta, local government area of Imo State. The deceased, Chima, was dragged out of a Cherubim church where he was attending a crossover service and was assaulted before being set on fire by the suspect. Narrating the ordeal to newsmen after submitting a petition to the Imo State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Aboki Danjuma, the victim's father, Mr. Uche Okafo, said his son was attacked by Obeka, his wife, Nwamaka, and their son, Eloka and Chidubem, shortly after midnight. Chima was reportedly rescued and rushed to the congregation of the Poor Handmaid of Jesus Christ Hospital in Ngbeli, Oguta, but succumbed to his injuries later that day due to the severe burns he sustained. The grieving father further appealed to the authorities, including Governor Hope Uzodinma and President Bola Tinubu, to ensure that justice is served in the matter. In his petition, Mr. Okafor said that the suspect, Obinna, and his son, Chidubem, are in police custody, but Eloka and Nwamaka are still at large, and urged the authorities to apprehend those at large to ensure justice. A police source confirmed that the case had been transferred to the homicide section of the State Criminal Investigation Department in Owerri, while the Imo State Police Public Relations Officer, Henry Okoye, on Tuesday also confirmed the arrest of the two suspects and assured the public that the Commissioner of Police had ordered a thorough investigation into the incident. People's Democratic Party in Osun State has described the opposition of the All Progressives Congress against Governor Ademola Adeleke's re-election endorsements as baseless and also as a sign of desperation. In a statement by the Osun PDP chairman, Sunday BC, described the APC criticism as a rejection of the People's Democratic will and urged the opposition party to accept the overwhelming public support for Governor Adeleke. Highlighting Adeleke's achievements, the PDP chairman credited the governor with initiating and completing critical infrastructural projects, including roads and bridges, and argued that the APC's failure in office left behind challenges that the Adeleke administration is now addressing. Outlining Adeleke's strides in education, he explained that the administration rehabilitated over 100 public schools, improved facilities, and is set to deploy newly recruited teachers, adding that the governor inherited an education sector in disrepair and has worked tirelessly to improve it. The APC accused Adeleke's administration of mismanaging state resources, particularly criticizing the accommodation of lawmakers in hotels due to inadequate planning during the renovation of their official quarters, and also criticized the reported dismissal of 1,500 teachers and numerous health workers employed by the previous administration. About 3 people have reportedly lost their lives in a road accident that occurred in Ogbomoso, Oyo State. Eyewitness said that the accident happened when a container-laden truck lost control and fell on a commercial tricycle, leaving 3 people dead on the spot. Those who reportedly lost their lives as a result of the accident included 2 female passengers and the tricycle rider, and were trapped under the container. The source also said that the articulated vehicle lost control while navigating a bend, and no comments have been made by the police since the incident happened. Justice KB Olawunyi, presiding over Court 8 of the Oyo State High Court, Ring Road, Ibadan, has fixed Tuesday, January 13th, to deliver his ruling on the bail application filed by Oni of Ife's ex-queen, Naomi Selekunola, Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat, and Abdullahi Fasasi. Hamzat is the Hamzat is the proprietor of Agidigbo FM and Ibadan-based radio station, while Fasasi is the principal of Islamic High School, Basharun, Ibadan, and the suspects are currently standing trial over the stampede which occurred during a Christmas funfair at Islamic High School, Basharun, Ibadan in December 2024, which claimed the lives of no fewer than 35 children. The bail applications were heard at the Oyo State High Court, Court 8 Ring Road, Ibadan on Tuesday, and counsel for the suspects had filed a summons of application for bail before the court. After listening to the submissions and arguments of the counsel on point of law, Justice Olawunyi adjourned ruling on the bail application till Tuesday, January 13th. The state team was led by the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Mr. Abiodun Aikomo, who led top officials of the Ministry of Justice, while all the counsel in their separate arguments told the courts why their clients should be allowed to enjoy their freedom, adding that there are no sufficient evidence before the court to warrant the confining to prison custody. Public policy analyst Samuel Kilsey has decried the tragedy of the stampede that led to the death of 35 persons. While speaking on ATN Blowout, he expressed sadness on how people in a democratic country tried to water down the gravity of the Oyo State stampede and questioned if Nigerians were ready for democracy, fair play and justice. According to the analyst, the people responsible for tragedy should be brought to book.
Let me tell you, in Oyo State, we had 35 young people, 35 young Nigerians, children whose lives were cut short. Their families have been thrown into mourning. The turmoil around the families, the fact that these families will never find replacement for these children, and the fact that this is happening in our country is sad. It's particularly sad. And I'm surprised that people are. This is 21st century, and people are still talking like this in a democracy. It's sad. Sometimes I wonder if Nigerians really want to live in a democracy. Democracy is about the rule of law. The first time we handled this matter on this platform, in this studio, I said it, that the people have to be brought to book to answer. They have to tell Nigerians what they did. You know, you are bringing so many children into a space for funfair, for whatever reason. For crying out loud, we are talking about children. You are not bringing in adults. I mean, for adults, it is bad enough not to talk about children, young children, maybe people between children. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, you're bringing them into a space and you're telling stories about it happened in Anambra, it happened in a Federal Capital Territory, nobody go to jail. Why is it Ibadan? Why won't it be Ibadan? But somebody have to break the ice on what is required, on responsibility, on how people have to own up and take responsibility for their actions. And right now, the governor is showing Nigerians that he is responsible.
Coming after the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, insisted that Queen Naomi Ogunwusi Oriyomi Hamzat and others were accused of the stampede in Ibadan. Ondo State Police Command says a total of 19 people have been arrested in connection with the cult clash which occurred in Owo Town, the Owo local government area of the state. This is coming after 4 persons were killed during the clash which ensued between 2 rival cult groups in the community, while the state government imposed a dusk to dawn curfew on the community as part of efforts to douse the tension. The State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Wilfred Afolabi, who visited the community on Tuesday, said that 19 people have been apprehended in connection with the incident, while normalcy has returned to the community. FCT administration has called on FCT security bodies to be more focused in watching over government and public properties to avoid damages such as vandalism of manhole covers across Abuja roads, provided to withstand heavy vehicular traffic, very crucial for the proper functioning of the city's drainage system, now rather stolen by someone, residents of the city. The Executive Secretary, Engineer Richard Yunana Dauda, made the call in an interview with the press after inspecting ongoing repairs on some recently vandalized manhole covers along the BC and B12 Circle roads in the Central Business District of Abuja on 6 January 2024, promising replacement of the stolen manhole covers. Engineer Dawuda spoke on the security implications of the theft of public infrastructure, stating that FCT administration is working with security agencies to strengthen measures to check acts of vandalism in the nation's capital city, while assuring that the replacements will be completed soon. Niger State Police Command has arrested 3 suspected armed robbers and burglars during a raid at a hotel in Minna, the state capital. The suspects, identified as Jibrin Ndako of Bakin Saleh, Haruna Abubakar of Angwan Kamfani, and Aliyu Abdullahi of Pakungu, Minna, were apprehended by the police. The State Police Public Relations Officer, SP Wasiu Abiondu, said that the 3 were arrested based on credible intelligence, adding that following credible information, police operatives from the Tudun Wadan Division raided a hotel along Eastern Bypass, Minna, where the suspects were lodged. Abiodu disclosed this during interrogation, while Jibrin Ndako, who had recently completed the jail term for motorcycle theft, confessed that he recruited his accomplices from Agaye to join him in breaking into a provision store in Barikin Saleh, Minna. However, he explained that their plans were foiled by the timely intervention of the police, and the suspects have been transferred to the state police headquarters in Minna for further investigation and prosecution. Yobe State Governor Mai Malabni has promised to promote agricultural revolution for the people of the state for witnessing the new year 2025 peacefully. A statement signed by the Director General of Press and Media Affairs to the governor, Maman Mohammed, the governor hailed the residents for their resilience while admitting that the year 2024 was generally successful through with some challenges of flood, disaster, and isolated security challenges. The statement said Yobe is the first state to establish a state ministry of livestock after the federal government, and stressed the intention to push for improved livestock development as a leading state in livestock production. While commending the residents for their understanding, resilience and support of the government, the Yobe governor also commended security agencies and vigilante groups for their contribution to peace and security across the state, and also vowed that the continued support of his administration to the security agencies to further improve the stable peace and security enjoyed in the state. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, Bauchi, has lamented the poor and unreliable electricity supply to the major health facility. The Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Yusuf Bara, said the problem is a major part of the challenges affecting the hospital's efficient service delivery. The CMD, who made this known during the end-of-year event that was organized by the hospital management to honor the exemplary contributions of each staff throughout 2024, said the occasion reflects the hospital administration's dedication to staff welfare, especially those who have shown remarkable commitments to their roles. He outlined several challenges confronting the hospital, to include the constraints in human and capital resources, energy and water shortages, and resistance to digital transformation, adding that the management is actively exploring solutions such as renewable energy sources, accelerating infrastructure projects, and expanding community outreach initiatives. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf has urged the federal government to reduce the 2025 Hajj fare to enable intending pilgrims to fulfill the religious exercise, adding that appeal was necessary to tackle the economic challenges faced by citizens. A statement issued by his media aide, Sanusi Bature in Kano, commended the Saudi Arabian government for the reform gesture and promised to send a letter of appreciation to the Saudi kingdom through its consulate in Kano. Yusuf made the remarks during an event organized by the State Pilgrims Welfare Board to refund money remitted by Saudi Arabian authorities following a power outage during the 2023 Hajj exercise, and also applauded the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria for its transparency and timely refund. While lauding the State Pilgrims Welfare Board for the successful organization of the 2024 Hajj, he encouraged the board to sustain its achievements that recently visited Saudi Arabia to perform the Lesser Hajj, and preparations for the 2025 Hajj had already commenced, with efforts underway to identify areas requiring further improvement. Additionally, the Director General of the board, Laminu Dambafa, revealed that a refund totaling 375 million naira had been disbursed to pilgrims for the 2023 Hajj exercise. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll continue with the rest of the stories. Kano State government has cautioned farmers to desist from selling their farmlands to foreigners and individuals with questionable identities, following reports of such activities in various local government areas, particularly Shanono. The warning was issued during an emergency stakeholders meeting at the office of the Shanono local government chairman, Al-Haji Abubakar Barau, while the Commissioner for Solid Minerals and Natural Resources, Safiyanu Hamza Kachako, expressed concern over the trend and announced plans to enforce stricter regulations on land use and mining activities. According to the Commissioner, a task force will soon be inaugurated to monitor and regulate mining operations across the state, ensuring that only formal and legal activities take place. And he also urged the council chairman to enact local laws prohibiting the sales of farmlands to foreigners or unverified individuals, emphasizing Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf's commitment to developing the sector for economic growth. In his remarks, the council chairman assured the stakeholders that the local government would take decisive steps to address the issue, including exploring investment opportunities in mining, and also called on the district head of Shanono, Alhaji Ibrahim Sani Gaya, to spread the message to communities at the grassroots level. President Bola Tinubu has assured the new president of Ghana, John Mahama, that his country can always count on Nigeria's support for national development. Tinubu, who declared this on Tuesday during the swearing-in ceremony of Mahama in Accra, the capital of the country, said Mahama's administration would mark the beginning of prosperity between two nations with a sense of shared history, hope, compassion, unity, and devotion to common welfare. Tinubu, however, faulted the critics of Africa, adding that the continent's leaders should desist from pulling themselves out to the detractors. Mahama had earlier greeted Tinubu, other presidents and dignitaries who attended the ceremony in his inauguration speech, and vowed to foster a working cooperation with Nigeria and other neighboring countries constituting the Economic Community of West African States. Mahama won the country's presidential election after his main opponent, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia, conceded defeat on December 8, 2024, which ends 2 terms in power for the governing New Patriotic Party under President Nana Akufo-Addo. President Bola Tinubu has approved $20,000 foreign medical treatment, bulletproof SUVs and cooks, among other benefits, as retirement package for service chiefs and generals, which the Nigerian Medical Association, the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, and the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors faulted. According to the harmonized terms and conditions of service for officers and enlisted personnel in the Nigerian Armed Forces, signed by President Bola Tinubu on December 14, 2024, the Chief of Defense Staff and other service chiefs are entitled to a bulletproof SUV or its equivalent as a retirement package. The vehicle would be replaced every 4 years and maintained by the military. This is in addition to a Peugeot 508 or an equivalent vehicle as backup, while the retired generals also enjoy a range of other luxurious benefits, including domestic aids and residential guards upon retirement, while those who retire as lieutenants generals and their equivalents will enjoy international and local medical treatment worth up to $20,000 annually. The benefits for the CDS and the chiefs were not specified, but it's believed that theirs would be significantly higher. The federal government also approved for major generals and brigadier generals a Toyota Land Cruiser or equivalent, $15,000 annual medical treatment, domestic staff and residential guards. The president of the NMA, Professor Bala Audu, emphasized that any retirement benefits received by the government officials should be investigated within Nigeria, while president of MDCAN, Professor Mohammed demanded that the Nigerian healthcare system should be transformed to cater to Nigerians' healthcare needs, adding that the decision to make provision for foreign treatment for the retired officers signaled a lack of confidence in the local health sector. The country director, Accountability Lab Nigeria, Friday Ode, described the development as alarming, adding that the extravagant retirement benefits raised concerns about the priorities of the government. Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission charged former Chief of Staff to Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasser El-Rufai, Alhaji Muhammad Bashir Saidu, with money laundering before the Federal High Court in the state. According to the charge sheet, Saidu, who also served as Commissioner of Finance in Kaduna State, allegedly accepted a cash payment of 155 million naira from one Ibrahim Mukhtar, a public officer in the Ministry of Finance, exceeding the amount authorized by law. The ICPC alleged that the transaction took place in March 2022 and that Saidu received the cash through his special assistant Muazu Abdu, and the charge, which was signed by the Assistant Chief Legal Officer of ICPC, Dr. Osuo Beni Ekoi, and was filed on Tuesday, January 7, 2025 at the Federal High Court in Kaduna. Saidu was being investigated for allegedly laundering 3.96 billion naira and misappropriating 244 million naira during his tenure in Kaduna State government. The Kaduna State House of Assembly had also indicted El-Rufai's government for allegedly siphoning state government funds to the tune of over 423 billion naira. Retired military personnel have begun receiving credit alerts for the full payment of their long overdue entitlements, and many others have started leaving the protest sites and dismantling the canopies and chairs they had set up to block the entrance of the Ministry of Finance headquarters in Abuja. This is coming after the retirees had barricaded the entrance to the Ministry of Finance in Abuja as early as 7 a.m. using canopies and chairs to demand the full payment of their entitlements. And their actions prevented staff members from driving into the premises, forcing many to park their vehicles outside. The protest followed a similar action in December, during which the retirees shut down the ministry over the government's failure to settle their claims, adding that for months the retirees were told that there were no funds to clear their entitlements. Despite official approval for the payments, they are owed a 20% to 28% salary increments covering January to November 2024. The retirees also demanded payments for their outstanding benefits, including palliatives for the period between October 2023 and November 2024. An additional 32,000 naira added to their pensions, a bulk payment of the security debarment allowance, and a refund of pension deductions from the salaries of medically boarded soldiers. In response to their December protest, the federal government paid 50% of the owed entitlement and promised to settle the balance later, and the retirees claimed the government failed to fulfill this promise, prompting the resumption of their protest on Tuesday. Lead counsel for Nnamdi Kanu, leader of indigenous people of Biafra, has rejected the federal government's move to set a date for the resumption of Kanu's trial. Ejimako based his rejection on the fact that Justice Binta Yanko of the Abuja Federal High Court entered and enrolled an order recusing herself from Kanu's trial on September 24, 2024. This is coming after Kanu had requested Justice Yanko to step down from his trial due to a lack of confidence in her handling of the matter. And following his request, the judge returned Kanu's case file to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Soho. However, Justice Soho sent the case file back to Justice Nyako for the continuation of the trial, and despite the development, the prosecuting counsel for the Nigerian government, Adegboyega Awomolo, requested a date to continue Kanu's trial. In a letter addressed to the Deputy Chief Registrar of the Federal High Court and dated December 5, 2024, Awomolo said that the prosecuting counsel in the above-named criminal case was pending before the Federal High Court number 2, and the Honorable Chief Judge had returned the case file for the continuation of trial before His Lordship, the Honorable Justice Binta Nyako. Rejecting Awomolo's request, Ejimako said that the move was fatally misconceived and, if not checked, could mislead Justice Nyako into a path of infamy and unconstitutionality. Following his return to Nigeria, the Court of Appeal discharged and acquitted Kanu of all charges, but the federal government has refused to release him, even after the matter was contested at the Supreme Court. And in December 2023, the Apex Court ordered Kanu's case to be returned to the Abuja Federal High Court for retrial. That's all of the information that we have for you today. Disengaged staff members of the Central Bank of Nigeria who were laid off in a mass termination last year have taken the Apex Bank before the National Industrial Court of Nigeria in Abuja. In an originating summons filed on July 4, 2024, under the NIC and Civil Procedure Rules 2017, the claimants, 33 in number, raised several issues for the courts to address, while the former employees asked the courts to determine whether their constitutional right to a fair hearing was violated before and after their appointments were terminated. They also alleged that CBN breached internal policies, Nigerian labor laws, and their contractual rights, adding that the termination process lacked the mandatory consultation and fair hearing required by law, and described the termination letters issued under the guise of restructuring as arbitrary, illegal, and unconstitutional. They also requested a restraining order to prevent the CBN from terminating their employment without adhering to proper procedures, while the claimants demanded an immediate reinstatement of their positions with payment of salaries and benefits from the date of termination. They cited Article 16.4.1 of the Human Resources Policies and Procedures Manual, which mandates consultation with the Joint Consultative Council and adherence to fair procedures before taking employment actions that adversely affect staff, stressing that the CBN flagrantly disregarded the provision to vacate their positions and hand over official property. The group is also seeking 30 billion naira in general damages for psychological harm caused by the dismissal, as well as an additional 500 million. While the CBN, represented by a legal team led by Inam Wilson, SAN, informed the court of a preliminary objection of the claimant's suit filed on November 4, 2024. The CBN's counsel also said that they had recently been served with the claimant's response to objection, while Justice Osagaye adjourned the case to January 29, 2025 for a hearing on the preliminary objection. You're still watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Up next is International Tidbits. United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed is set to begin a two-day official visit to Nigeria on Thursday. The National Information Officer, United Nations Information Center, Oluseyi Soremeku, who disclosed this on Tuesday, said she will hold discussions with President Bola Tinubu, senior government officials, and the leadership of the Economic Community of West African States. The talks are expected to focus on critical issues concerning regional stability and development, and will be joined by the Secretary General's Special Representative for West Africa and the Sahel, Nado Simao, and the UN Resident Coordinator in Nigeria, Mohammed Fall. As part of our agenda, she will also engage with the UN country team in Nigeria to review ongoing initiatives and explore future priorities. John Mahama has taken the oath of office as Ghana's new president in a ceremony attended by world leaders. This is coming after the former governor was declared the winner . 2024 presidential election in December 8 after defeating his main opponent, Vice President Muhammadu Bawumia. Mahama, who had previously served the country as a 12th president between 2011 and 2017, found his way back to power through re-election. The Nigerian President Bola Tinubu had on Monday departed Lagos to attend the inauguration, which took place in Accra, the capital of the Republic of Ghana. At least 95 people have been confirmed dead and 130 are injured after a major earthquake struck the mountainous Tibet region on Tuesday morning. The earthquake that hit Tibet's holy Shigatse city had a magnitude of 7.1 and a depth of 10 kilometers, and according to data from the U.S. Geological Survey, which also showed a series of aftershocks in the area. Tremors were also felt in neighboring Nepal and parts of India. Earthquakes are common in the region, which lies on a major geological fault line, and it is considered one of the holiest cities and also the traditional seat of the Panchen Lama, a key figure of Tibetan Buddhism, whose spiritual authority is second only to the Dalai Lama. At least 5 people have died in a winter storm that has seized a swath of the U.S. in its icy grip, leading to mass school closures, travel chaos, and power cuts. 7 U.S. states declared emergencies: Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, and Arkansas, adding that more than 2,300 flights have been cancelled, with nearly 9,000 delays also reported owing to the extreme weather caused by the polar vortex of icy cold air that usually circles the North Pole. Around 190,000 people had no power early on Tuesday across the states in the storm's path, adding that the cold Arctic air is expected to keep conditions icy across a chunk of the country for several more weeks. Former U.S. Olympic skier Claire Egan was found cross-country skiing on the National Mall, the central thoroughfare of the U.S. capital city, and Washington, D.C.'s weather emergency has declared until the early hours of Tuesday as a result of the system, which was named Winter Storm Blair by the Weather Channel. In other parts of the U.S., the winter storm brought with it dangerous road conditions, while in Missouri, the state's highway patrol said at least 365 people had crashed on Sunday, leaving dozens injured and at least one dead. United States Congress has officially certified Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 presidential election, clearing the way for his return to the White House on January 20, 2025. The certification, which took place during a joint session of Congress on Monday, marks the final step in validating the Electoral College results from November's election. According to Al Jazeera, Vice President Kamala Harris, Trump's Democratic rival in the race, oversaw the proceedings. The ceremony was brief and without incident. A stark contrast to the events of January 6, 2021, when a violent attack on the Capitol disrupted the certification of Trump's defeat in the 2020 election. In her remarks following the session, Harris underscored the importance of peaceful transitions of power, stressing that the certification officially confirms Trump's victory with 312 Electoral College votes compared to Harris' 226, after Trump also became the first Republican presidential candidate to win the popular vote since 2004. Trump celebrated the certification on his social media platform, Truth Social, calling it a big moment in history, and Trump's victory not only secures his return to the presidency but also delivers control of both the House of Representatives and the Senate to the Republican Party. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has insisted that ties with Japan were stronger than ever, days after President Joe Biden blocked Nippon Steel takeover of U.S. Steel. Business groups say the move could have a chilling effect on Japan's standing as the biggest foreign investor in the United States, as Washington seeks closer relations to counter China. This is coming 2 weeks before President-elect Donald Trump takes office, and with Marco Rubio slated to replace Blinken. The top U.S. diplomat who recalls that he came to Japan on his first trip in 2021. He pointed to expanding security ties, including three-way partnerships with South Korea and the Philippines, and a four-way grouping with Australia and India, State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said Blinken also spoke with Japanese leaders about Russia's invasion of Ukraine and tensions over Taiwan and China's dangerous and destabilizing behavior in the South China Sea. Jean-Marie Le Pen, a French far-right politician, has been confirmed dead at the age of 96 years. The family said it was gathered that Le Pen, who had been in care facility for several weeks, died on Tuesday surrounded by his loved ones. Le Pen, a Holocaust denier and unrepentant extremist on race, gender and immigration, founded the French far-right National Front Party in 1972. The politician reached the presidential election runoff against Jacques Chirac in 2002, while his daughter Marine took over as party chief in 2011, and has since rebranded the party as National Rally, turning it into one of France's main political forces. Foreign Minister of the People's Republic of China, Wang Yi, is scheduled to arrive in Abuja on Wednesday for an official visit. During the visit, Yi, who is a member of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, will engage in discussions aimed at strengthening ties between Nigeria and China. The acting spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimiebi Ebienfa, on Tuesday said that Yi will meet with Nigeria's Foreign Minister, Ambassador Yusuf Toga, on Thursday for bilateral talks, and the talks are expected to focus on expanding cooperation between the two nations, especially in the areas of trade, infrastructure, and technology. He said during his visit, Mr. Wang Yi will meet with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Toga, at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja, on Thursday, January 9, 2025, for bilateral talks that will focus on strengthening relations between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the People's Republic of China. In addition to his diplomatic engagements, he will pay a courtesy visit to President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa and will deliver a special message from Chinese President Xi Jinping to Tinubu. At least 3 clubs are very keen on signing Marcus Rashford from Manchester United. Rashford looks set to leave Old Trafford this year, either in January or the summer transfer window. And the 27-year-old has fallen out of favour with new manager Ruben Amorim in recent weeks. Amorim has left the England forward out of his match day squad for 5 consecutive fixtures. According to football transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, there are now movements around Rashford as expected. It is believed that Borussia Dortmund and AC Milan have also made inquiries about the possibility of a deal. Turkish champions Galatasaray are also interested in Rashford. Former Chelsea striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has opened up his experience as part of the large squad at the Blues during their disappointing 2022-2023 season. Chelsea had a large squad during that season, with reports emerging of players having to change outside of the dressing room, while Todd Boehly and Claire Lake Group took charge of Chelsea in 2022. The club quickly signed the likes of Raheem Sterling, Kalidou Koulibaly, and Aubameyang in the summer of that year for then former manager Thomas Tuchel. Speaking with the Athletic, Aubameyang described the large squad as a mess, adding that he alongside Hakim Ziyech, Denis Zakaria, Kalidou Koulibaly, and Romelu Lukaku were laughing every day in the dressing room. Chelsea went on to finish the 2022-2023 season in 12th position with 44 points. Chelsea also had 4 different managers, with Tuchel, Graham Potter, Bruno Salto, and Frank Lampard taking charge of the team at some point. Lopez, in documents submitted to the Los Angeles Superior Court, has confirmed that she had reached a settlement with Affleck through mediation in September 2024, about a month after filing for divorce, adding that once a judge approves their divorce on February 20, 2025, Lopez will legally drop Affleck from her name. The couple will keep the earnings from their individual business ventures and projects without paying any spousal support, and the duo have agreed to remain in each other's lives despite the divorce. This is coming after August 2024. Lopez filed for divorce and listed April 26, 2024 as their separation date. She cited irreconcilable differences for the split.